G'day Year 11 and welcome to another YouTube lesson. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first of the 4 business functions as part of management processes. That's the third of the 4 subtopics of business management. We looked last YouTube clip, at coordinating these resources and these business functions. Today we'll take a look at the first one, as I said earlier, operations. We'll be looking at, in particular, goods and or services and the difference between those. We'll look at this thing called the production process, although in Year 12 it's known better as the transformation process. Silly, not a surprise that the syllabus just changes it from year to year. And we'll be also looking at what quality management is and the importance of quality management. Now, operations refers to the business process that involves transformation, or more generally, production. It's always good to make sure you've got some pretty smick definitions, something that you feel comfortable with and that you are able to remember for assessments. All right, it is a term that applies both to manufacturing and the service sector. So the secondary industry, manufacturing, and also the service sector, the tertiary sector. I.e., this is the business function that makes the product, be it a good, a physical good, such as like a computer that I'm using here, or a service, like the phone service that you're being provided with. Now, goods and or services. I'm sure you've heard these before, but let's make sure we're clear with the difference and how to define them. Products can be a good or a service. A manufacturer will transform inputs into goods. Goods are tangible products. This ring, you can feel it. It's tangible. It's there. That's what tangible means. Tangible are physical products that can be handled and stored before they are sold to the consumer, such as bread, a car, clothes, a ring, etc. A service organisation will transform inputs into services. Services are intangible, which means they cannot be touched. They cannot be touched. So seeing your doctor, being taught something, in trouble with the law, going to a lawyer, etc., etc. These are services. They're intangible. For example, if you attend a training course, you cannot physically touch it. Probably a good thing. But you hopefully benefit from gaining knowledge and learning new skills, as you are right now, aren't you? Yes. The production process. That's the next aspect we need to know from the syllabus. The production process. This process is where inputs go through a process known as the transformation process and are turned into outputs. Inputs are the raw materials involved in the production or making of a good. Example, metal and so on. For services, a raw material could be information. They are then manipulated, changed, altered in some way. This is called transformation, and turned into an output, the final product. This is called the transformation process. I'd much rather that be said for Year 12 anyhow, and you'll learn that. But in Year 11, follow the syllabus, the production process. Getting there, guys. We're looking at our last dot point now. Quality management. It's an important aspect of all parts of the business, but especially operations. Quality management is the strategy which a business uses to make sure that its product meets customer expectations. That is, in essence, made in such a way that the end product meets a certain standard of quality. 3 quality approaches that are used in operations are QC, it's quality control, QA, quality assurance, and TQM, total quality management. So what's the difference between each of these? Quality control is about checking the product before, during, and after the good is made. Example, taste testing. It's about the checking of the product, not the process. The product, not the process. Now, I know that you guys are only in Year 11, but if you want to find out more information about the difference between quality control and quality assurance, there's a lesson that I've done for Year 12 in terms of this, okay, and you can look at that and see. I think it's titled something along the lines of operations, and it's looking at quality management. So that's something to look into if you would like. Up to you. Whereas quality assurance is about putting in place processes. Remember I said product for quality control? I'm checking this ring. We're checking that when it came out, it was Smith, that it looked good, that it's all that it's meant to be, okay, and so on. Whereas quality assurance is making sure the processes used to make this ring are up to scratch and ongoingly checking these processes. Example, in a bakery, making sure all staff wash their hands on a regular basis and implement other food handling procedures like wearing gloves. You're looking at the processes. There's also these international standards, ISO. It's ISO 9001, 9002 and ISO 9003. What's that mean? Well, the International Standards Organization will come and independently audit, look into a business, and if the processes at that business are up to their standards, then they will certify that this business meets the ISO standard of 9001, 2, and 3. Now, I'm not going to get into any more detail here. Again, if you want to find out more about that, look at that other YouTube clip with the Year 12 operations quality management one. Right, again, it's a process. The last one, total quality management, TQM, is about all activities to ensure that the outputs of the business are consistent, durable, reliable, and meet what was the quality standard stated originally in the operations plan. Effective quality management includes quality control, quality assurance, and ongoing quality improvement. All right, guys, thanks as always, and see you next lesson.